Now we will use a background image instead of a list style image. Okay, so let's go back to our pen and we are going to find our UL and we're going to comment out this list style image. Nothing wrong with using these, but if you're trying to be really design oriented and you're very critical about your alignments and your layout, then you're going to want to go this next path. Plus, there's more you can do. You have better control with this next approach. So let's comment out this image. So we're now going to set the list style type to none. So let's save, and we'll just update our page, and the bullets are gone. Okay, so now what we need to do is further control, and I accidentally, good thing I commented this out. I'm sure one of you saw this and started screaming, and I didn't hear you. Sorry. All right, so I need this closing curly brace to go after, obviously, so this closes correctly. And let's make sure we have our formatting correct. Okay. All right, good thing I caught that. I'm sure you tried telling me. I can guarantee you some of you tried telling me. Sorry, didn't hear you. Let's go ahead and save. And after list style type, so I don't divide everything up here with those comments, what we need to do is go into our margin, and we're going to zero out the margin, and then we are also going to zero out the padding. Okay, and we will save. I'm on a tear with making mistakes here. So padding, all I needed was a 0. And let's go ahead and save. And let's just take a look. Okay, now you noticed any of the default margin that might have been up here. Of course, we already had some margin going, but anyway, that margin's gone, and the padding over here is gone. So what we need to do is we need to control the list item to get our indent, if that's in fact what we want. So let's go back, and we do because we don't want the bullet, or maybe you do, it's up to you. But I don't want the bullet hanging on the outside. So let's go, excuse me, let's go down to our unordered list and our list item, and we have width, we have a font size, and we have a margin. Okay, I'm going to set the height, and I'm going to try 26 pixels. And then I want my type to be centered vertically. So we're going to set our line height to match our height. So we'll go 26 pixels. Okay. And then I want my text align to be left. Too bad I can't talk and type at the same time. I'm not good at that. Maybe if I practice more. Okay. So text align left. We have our font size at 16. So now on my margin, we'll go 20 pixels on the top and 0 on the right, 0 on the bottom. And let's move our list over by 30 pixels on the left hand side. So we'll go 30 pixels on the left hand side. Now let's add some padding, and our padding is going to be 0, 0, 0, and then we're going to move our text over from the left-hand side 30 pixels, like so. Okay, so the margin is moving all of the type over, all right, from the outside of the list item. And then we're including another 30 pixels of padding from where the point that the list item begins. Okay. Now let's go ahead and set our color for our type to black. And just so you can see what's going on, let's go ahead and add a border. We'll do this as 1 pixel solid, and let's make our border also black, like so. Okay, so now we need to add our background image. So background image, and again URL, it's very similar to what we had done above, and we will add our single quote. We'll make sure before I even add the path that we have our semicolon. Now I'm just going to grab one of the paths up here. We'll do this one again. So let's get our absolute path and make sure I do this right. There we go. So we will copy, and then let's paste in our absolute path. Now this image is going to show up on the X and the Y axis over and over and over like a pattern. So what we want to do is set the background repeat, and we're going to set this to no repeat. Okay, so the default is repeat. You can do no repeat, so the image shows up once. You could repeat on the X, which is horizontal. You could repeat only on the Y, which is vertical. And of course, you can look these up on W3 Schools in learning about CSS. Okay. All right. So now we have our background image and our absolute path. We're going to tell the background repeat to no repeat. And now what we're going to do is control the background position. So background position, and we're going to go 0, 0, semicolon. So basically this is saying from the top left corner of where the list item begins to draw, we're going to say 0 X coordinate, 0 Y coordinate. And let's go ahead and save. And let's take a look at what we have thus far. So we'll update our page, and we will scroll down, and we see that we now have our gear showing up as a background image. And again, the reason this text is moved over is because we created 30 pixels of padding, and then we also have 30 pixels of margin, which moves the list item over. Now, this image is a little closer to the top than the bottom, and I'm going to fix that. And then we're going to take away the border, because I was only using the border so we could exactly see where things are, just as a visual tool as you're learning or as you're coding. So I'm going to try on the y-axis, the vertical, I'm going to try 2 pixels, and we'll save. Let's take a look. And that looks pretty close. So now let's just get rid of that border by commenting the border out. So border, and there we go, and we will save. Let's do an update. And there is our unordered list, customized with our own image, background image as a bullet. Okay, and we're using the little gear. And then you can continue to go and style your type to whatever degree you want now, and you can always move that image around to keep that image in the position you want. Matter of fact, if you really wanted to be clever, you could put the image anywhere inside this list item that you want.